What's going on, guys? This is Team Ricker, Dolphin Outdoors. What I'm here to talk to you guys about today is what I've ranked already as, in my opinion, the best round bill crankbait ever. And that, of course, is the DT4. Not just the DT4, that's just mostly what I use, but just because of my situation, but the DT series of crankbaits, which goes from 4 all the way up to 20 in increments of 2. So what I want to talk to you guys about today is situations when you want to fish the DT 4, 6, 8, 10, 20, whatever series of crankbaits. So we'll go from small to big. Small is really what I know about well, but big is well documented across the country. So let's get into it. So if you're talking about when you throw the DT4, and I'd put the 6 in the same category, more shallow water, you know, that's going to be on river systems mostly, and also shallow banks on lakes, especially banks that drop off pretty steady. The first situation is not the best situation, but it's a situation where you can still catch them, and that's springtime, early springtime, and that is when the water is in the mid to high 40s. So red crawdad, another one of my favorite colors. Really slow cranking, like if they're not really into the jointed shatter up or shatter up bite, but the water's dirty, and you're still going to stick with that crankbait bite and throw one of these. So that's the first situation. Now the next situation is bread and butter. Like, in my opinion, when these baits shine the most, and this takes us back to hot mustard. And this is in my area about mid-April, when the water's mid-50s, and they're just getting on that good crankbait bite and the water's dirty. I had a day back in 2013, I caught four pounders in one morning on DT4 hot mustard. Dirty water, I think it was about 55, 56 degrees. No, actually, take that back, probably 54, 50, 55, right in the middle there. It's been 10 years, so forgive me for that, but I know it was definitely mid-50s. Now, one quick flashback back to the first situation of the mid to low 40s. Sorry, mid-40s. DT4 Helsinki shad. If you look back at our video, Fishing Hammond Lake a couple years ago with team member Derek and I, that's what caught that Somali just under 4 pounds, as well as a mid-2. Both on this bait, slow cranking rock banks. That day the water was 43, so that's about as low as you want to go. But so that's the other situation. And then we're going to go back to DT4, red crawdad, and girlfriend for this next situation, summertime. But specifically summertime, dirty water. So if the fish are shallow in the bank, don't get me wrong, I like square bills too. I mixed them into my arsenal, but I've done very well with these as well. Heck, this one here, a couple years ago in league, it would have been 8 years ago. Caught 4, 5, 6 tied for second place. A lot of big fish came in that night, but that was cranking muddy water bank with this. And then also another situation is just fishing for fun situation, just fishing a steadily sandbank that gradually drops off. Caught mid-3 on that. So very versatile bait. About the only time you're not going to have much luck on this is like below 40. That's going to be real tough to get bites. And even the mid-60s works as well too. It's just not one of those prime times that I've found, in my opinion. Although, I guess now that I mention it, I have caught some largemouth on both the hot mustard and the Rasta in those situations during this fishing the spawn, which I don't do as much anymore, but that's another situation there. Now, one last situation is also hot summertime, but clear water. And not just clear water around current with a crawfish type imitation. Here is mule, which is kind of a crawfish color, and dark brown crawl. So very similar profiles there. I've caught some fish doing that. Like when they're in the current, they are more into the feeding zone for smallmouth. Those are both times those baits have worked for me in the past. Never anything huge, but I've caught some keepers and some fish to weigh in during league and stuff. Then the last situation, to piggyback back off that, kind of the same thing though, is same type situation, but you get like this live smallmouth or live largemouth, clear water. Bass eat little bass all the time. Very lifelike pattern. Not saying it's the best out there, but it's definitely very good. So just a great bait. That's just the DT4. And like I said, that will cover the 6 and even up to the 8 in some situations. But another situation I'm going to talk about too is we're talking about deep cranking, like you're talking about DT10s, DT20s, everything in between. That Helsinki shad pattern, again, great for, shad lakes, talking lakes here off ledges. Deep cranking in the summer, again, one of the best baits for deep cranking, those DT10 pluses. That's when they're really going to shine the summertime, when those fish are offshore and they're on ledges. So, this team member here, Dual Throw Outdoors, coming to you about how and when to fish the DT series of baits. And as you can see, I own a lot of these, and they've been very good to me. So if you don't have any, I would definitely recommend getting some. Here's some 6s right here. And like I said, in my opinion, best round bill crankbait ever made. So if you don't already have some, get you some. Thank you for watching this Dual Throw Outdoors video. If you like this video, be sure to leave it a like, share with your friends, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Also, be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more Dual Throw Outdoors content.